Imagine a world devoid of the internet. Silence descends where once status updates flowed. News feeds run dry. The constant hum of connectivity silenced. This is not a scene from a dystopian novel. This is the reality we face when the internet, our digital lifeline, falters. On October 4th, 2021, the world experienced a taste of this digital darkness. Facebook, along with its subsidiaries Instagram and WhatsApp, vanished from the internet. For 6 long hours, billions were left digitally stranded. The outage exposed our dependence on a system we often take for granted. It was a stark reminder of the internet's inherent fragility. This event, while jarring, was not an isolated incident. The internet, for all its power, is not invincible. Past outages like the major Cloudflare disruption have similarly crippled online services. The Facebook blackout of 2021, while significant, was not the first time the internet faltered. This event, which left billions of users disconnected for hours, was a stark reminder of our dependency on a single platform for communication, business, and social interaction. History is dotted with similar events, each a stark reminder of our reliance on this technology. From minor disruptions to major blackouts, these incidents have shown us just how fragile our digital world can be. In 2008, a severed undersea cable plunged large parts of the Middle East and Asia into digital darkness. This incident disrupted not only personal communications but also critical business operations and government functions. Businesses faltered. Communication lines went dead. The economic impact was significant, with many companies reporting losses due to the inability to conduct transactions or communicate with clients and partners. It was a potent demonstration of the internet's physical vulnerability. The cables that lie on the ocean floor, often taken for granted, are the lifelines of our global communication network. Years later, in 2012, Hurricane Sandy wreaked havoc on the east coast of the United States, damaging critical infrastructure and disrupting internet access for millions. The storm's impact was felt far and wide, affecting everything from emergency services to everyday internet usage. The storm highlighted the interconnectedness of our digital and physical worlds. It showed how a natural disaster could ripple through our digital infrastructure, causing widespread disruption. Even natural disasters could plunge us into the digital abyss. The loss of internet access during such times can hinder rescue operations, disrupt communication, and leave people isolated. These past outages, though varied in cause and scope, shared a common thread. They exposed the fragility of the internet. Each incident, whether caused by human error, natural disasters, or technical failures, revealed just how vulnerable our digital lifelines are. They served as stark warnings, often ignored, of the potential chaos that lurks beneath the surface of our connected world. As we continue to integrate the internet into every aspect of our lives, understanding and addressing these vulnerabilities becomes ever more crucial. The Facebook blackout of 2021, while dramatic in its impact, stemmed from a surprisingly simple technical error, a faulty configuration update. This seemingly innocuous mistake cascaded through Facebook's systems, severing connections between its data centers and the outside world. The outage exposed a critical flaw in Facebook's infrastructure, its centralized nature. With all its services relying on a single network, any disruption to that network could bring the entire ecosystem crashing down. The incident highlighted the dangers of centralized control in a system as vast and interconnected as the internet. The Facebook outage was a harsh lesson in the importance of redundancy and decentralization. It demonstrated that even the most sophisticated tech giants are not immune to seemingly small errors with potentially catastrophic consequences. Cloudflare, a company most internet users rarely think about, plays a crucial role in keeping the web running smoothly. It acts as a content delivery network, caching website data closer to users and protecting against cyber attacks. When Cloudflare falters, the ripples are felt across the internet. In July 2020, a misconfigured software update caused a major outage at Cloudflare. The incident disrupted access to a vast swathe of websites and services, from popular social media platforms to essential business tools. The outage exposed the hidden dependencies that underpin our online world. The Cloudflare outage underscored the interconnectedness of the internet. It demonstrated how a single point of failure could bring down a vast network of seemingly unrelated websites and services, highlighting the importance of robust and resilient infrastructure. The impact of internet outages extends far beyond the inconvenience of not being able to access social media or stream videos. These events have real-world consequences, impacting businesses, economies, and even essential services. The Facebook blackout of 2021 cost businesses an estimated $79 million in lost revenue. Small businesses, heavily reliant on social media for marketing and customer engagement, were particularly hard hit. The outage underscored the growing dependence of businesses on digital platforms. Beyond financial losses, internet outages can disrupt critical infrastructure, including communication networks, transportation systems, and financial institutions. The potential for chaos and disruption is immense, highlighting the need for robust backup systems and contingency plans. Section 6. Life Unplugged: Stories from the Digital Abyss. The true impact of an internet outage is perhaps best understood through the stories of individuals who experience it firsthand. These stories reveal the deep-seated dependency we have on digital connectivity, often taken for granted until it's abruptly taken away. For some, it's a minor inconvenience, a brief respite from the constant digital barrage. They find solace in the unexpected break, using the time to reconnect with the physical world around them, to read a book, or to simply enjoy a moment of peace. For others, it's a significant disruption, severing connections with loved ones, disrupting work, and even putting lives at risk. The sudden loss of digital communication can create a sense of isolation and helplessness, especially in critical moments. During the Facebook blackout, a family in India lost contact with their son who was traveling abroad. The inability to reach him through their usual mode of communication, WhatsApp, turned their concern into panic. Unable to reach him through WhatsApp, their usual mode of communication, they spent hours frantically trying to get in touch, their worry escalating with each passing moment. The blackout underscored the fragility of our reliance on a single platform for critical communication. A small business owner in the United States, heavily reliant on Instagram to sell her handmade goods, watched helplessly as her sales plummeted to zero during the outage. Her business, built painstakingly over years, was brought to a standstill in a matter of hours. The event highlighted the precariousness of her livelihood in an increasingly digital world. It served as a stark reminder of how intertwined our lives have become with these platforms, and the vulnerabilities that come with such dependence. Section 7. Picking up the pieces: Response and Recovery. When the internet goes dark, a frantic scramble ensues to restore service. Engineers work tirelessly to identify the root cause of the outage, often facing immense pressure to get systems back online. The response to an outage is a race against time, a test of ingenuity and resilience. In the aftermath of the Facebook blackout, the company issued a public apology, attributing the outage to a faulty configuration change. They worked to restore service as quickly as possible, eventually bringing their platforms back online after 6 long hours. The Cloudflare outage prompted a similar scramble to identify and fix the misconfigured software update that caused the disruption. The incident led to a thorough review of Cloudflare's systems and processes, highlighting the importance of rigorous testing and redundancy measures. Section 8. The Fragile Web. We weave lessons learned. Internet outages, while disruptive and costly, offer valuable lessons about the nature of our digital infrastructure. They remind us that the internet, for all its power and reach, is a human-made system, susceptible to both technical failures and human error. The centralized nature of many online platforms, as exposed by the Facebook blackout, highlights the need for greater decentralization and redundancy. Distributing data and services across multiple networks can mitigate the impact of outages, making the internet more resilient. The interconnectedness of the internet, while a strength in many ways, also creates vulnerabilities. A single point of failure, as demonstrated by the Cloudflare outage, can have cascading effects across the entire network. Building in redundancy and failover mechanisms is essential to mitigate this risk. Section 9. In the shadow of the outage, our uncertain future. As we hurtle towards an increasingly digital future, our reliance on the internet will only deepen. The internet has become the backbone of our daily lives, connecting us in ways we never imagined possible. From social interactions to business operations, everything is intertwined with the digital realm. Internet outages, once a rare occurrence, are likely to become more frequent and potentially more severe. These disruptions can bring entire economies to a standstill, affecting everything from financial transactions to emergency services. The consequences of these disruptions will continue to escalate, impacting every aspect of our lives. Imagine a world where you can't access your bank account, communicate with loved ones, or even call for help in an emergency. The challenge before us is to build a more resilient and reliable internet, one that can withstand both technical failures and malicious attacks. This involves not just technological advancements, but also a cultural shift towards prioritizing digital security. This requires a fundamental shift in our approach to digital infrastructure, from centralized systems to decentralized networks, which can offer greater resilience and security. Decentralized networks distribute the risk, making it harder for a single point of failure to bring down the entire system, from reactive responses to proactive prevention. This means investing in cybersecurity measures, training personnel, and developing protocols that can quickly address and mitigate threats before they escalate. The future of the internet, and indeed our digital lives, hinges on our ability to learn from past outages and build a more robust and resilient digital world. By studying previous failures, we can develop strategies to prevent similar issues in the future. The question is not if, but when the next major outage will occur. With the increasing complexity of our digital infrastructure, the likelihood of significant disruptions is almost certain. The time to prepare is now. We must act swiftly and decisively to safeguard our digital future, ensuring that we are ready to face the challenge